Hello and welcome all. This is Dice of Ages, presenting CrestVahllen, the Argent Flame, episode 48, Under Rugs and Scuttlebugs. Without further ado, let's get into the recap of the previous episode. After Boots is dismissed by the Moonray, a mimic pauldron now adhered to the Artificer's shoulder and onculine spores deposited within the Elder Deep Gnome, Pinchak is left to be debriefed, and the late faction's funds are returned. Mostly. Meanwhile, back at the quarry's qualm, or the Whispering Wall, Trisheni hears just that, while she's working on her spellbook transcriptions. With the help of Lagh's ghostly gaze and Cole's keen ears, the three witness a scene of representatives from both Clan Mortanic and Herak, conspiring against Clan Vogel, exchanging payment and planning a possible accident and riot during a future spectacle of oration. Shakar is sent to retrieve the rest of the party, and they all reconvene at the inn. Trisheni stays guarded by Pernua, Tweg, and Moonchild, while the others case the tavern for more information. Ermgrim leaves with Shakar to attempt to find the Immolate somewhere in Steercrag, saying he should be back by late afternoon tomorrow. Lahg learns from Bilgrar, the barkeep, that there are rumors of the clans preparing for something to go down, hence the majority egress. The disguised bugbear also convinces Bilgrar to collect and save his compost to help grow some alchemical assistance. Eleazar has a veiled conversation with a fellow bounty hunter of half-elven origin, identified only as pleased to meet you, learning that they may be after someone known to the party. After returning to the gang's table, a drink is bought for the Silver Dragonborn by the mysterious stranger, and he exits the inn with purpose. Now, let's get back to the action. Welcome back to CrestVahllen.
Hello, and welcome back. Great, so where we left off was that this other urban bounty hunter individual had left, this half-elven individual had left the quarry's qualm while leaving a drink purchased for Eleazar at the table, while the rest of you we're talking about what that could possibly mean, what are the ramifications of it, what the target could possibly be, to do their business, possibly, and looking as though they had insight.
Eliezer, let's not drink that. I need you poisoned in another bar.
Roll an insight check.
Let me see.
Also, you're immune to disease.
And poison?
Not poison.
Okay.
6.
6.
I'm on like
You don't know this guy,
ass cheeks.
but there was that type of ass cheeks.
Yeah, the rolls are that bad.
No, you don't know this guy.
We thought it was going to be better coming out of the break.
The respect that you felt,
That's a little bit of a
poisoning you might be out of character. But who knows?
So I slam it.
You're fine.
Yeah. But I appreciate the thought. Thinking out loud. Carrying your ass was hard. He's like, I'm not doing it again.
You're a heavy motherfucker.
The years that you have traveled being an urban bounty, there are some bad apples out there. They're like no on everything, but they don't last very long in that type of line of work. The ones that do, they don't do that type of shit.
Right.
Because they know that directly impacts their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
That type of shit, because it destroys their reputation. Right?
Exactly. Our assumption of who we
If
think
there was
hired
any, if like the only people that they really actually, they don't give a shit about kings, they don't give a shit about queens, they don't give a shit about people that rule nations. The only people they really respect are other people that do their profession.
Right. It's the B code.
Yeah.
Bounty hunter code.
Mm-hmm.
BH code.
BH code. There you go.
Get near the end of the night. Pool's done partying. Restoration.
There is a pool of drool on the floor.
Oh, fuck. It's just been flowing out of your flute. The whole time.
It's like you had your spit valve open the whole.
Yeah. Lahg, and I hit him and cast it too. It's how much fun.
Yeah, sure.
Are you guys gonna go clean up the room
Oh
now?
no, you remember quite a bit to the point where you're like, if Lahg could feel, can Lahg feel embarrassed?
Depends what it is.
Yeah, that's up to you.
Bender like this? No.
And
Cole probably Cole probably feels a little embarrassed. Not badly, because
I would
Shit
say
bucket
you probably
talking
feel most
noise.
embarrassed about your performance.
yeah, like the fact. What it really embarrasses me is that puddle of drool that's just sitting below me when I would like come out of my drunken sleep.
Yeah.
We're like, oh
I lost so much hydration.
no, it's more of fuck. I played.
Okay, so it is getting into late evening.
So we're headed upstairs, right?
That's up to you guys. If you'd like to. You have a
I think we've kind of seen what we need. What's going
I
on?
want to give Krisheni time to finish her work before
for
we.
the
We
time
have
that
2
you-
rooms, right?
Yeah, so the time that you've been down here, I'll say by the time it's time for you to wrap stuff up and try to go to bed, you'll wrap up.
Yay!
So
I mean, it was 6 hours.
You can have camaraderie with them once they decide to go up and
Okay.
start wrapping things up. Cool.
At some point,
You spent quite a bit of time out there, overhearing stuff, having conversations, talking to buckets of Trinus.
Anything else that maybe I heard besides my conversation with the...
No, your perception was pretty low. You got 8.
Hey, I
So the only reason why
tried,
you even
I tried.
spotted that dude was because of your background.
Right. I tried.
At some point, I brought you a plate of dinner. You probably didn't eat it, but
No,
it's sitting at the edge of your desk.
by now, after I finish, scarf it down.
I just can't wait for you to experience there is one bite missing from the meat portion.
Okay, I don't even recognize that. It's, the bear.
I
You bring
can
it to him,
just
there's a bite portion missing and the
I can just see the annoyance too when Lahg and I walk back into the room sober at the end of the night. So you guys are gonna clean this up, right?
Yeah, you guys made a mess. Running around changing clothes and being invisible.
like this.
It was not always like that.
It was not. Cole starts going around, and wherever there's a problem, he just prestidigitation. Prestidigitation.
Yeah, all of the furniture has been pushed against the wall, so there's so much more room for activity in the middle of the room. Yeah, they're Cole and Lahg are drunk children. That's really good there.
Sober or drunk, we're drunk children.
Yeah. Half the time we're just straight up drunk children. But every party has to have something.
Oh yeah.
So, what'd you find? Or do we want to talk about it
Yeah,
somewhere?
I assume if we need to talk, we need to.
Can you
want Skyline to
do
check?
your?
Yeah, totally. I'm actually really good right now as far as spells go. So
As we go up there, I'm going to use major or minor illusion just to create the sound of people talking, not loud enough to distinguish words, but just sounds
murmurs?
Yeah.
You kind of give yourself a white noise or a brown noise.
Yeah, so that way it sounds like we're talking in there and people don't realize that we're not in there after we went into the room.
Great. How long does that last?
an hour.
The minor illusion.
Sorry.
No,
Actually,
it's minor illusion, yeah, because you can make
Yeah.
a sensory effect.
1 minute.
1 minute. So it's a cantrip, so you could
Which actually does kind of make it sound like we came in, talked for a minute, and then went to sleep.
yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
that
I
works.
could use thaumaturgy and have actual whispers and stuff.
If you want to do that, feel free. I don't have that spell.
It's the same. It's gonna do the exact same thing.
I think my other option is
yeah,
major
you
image. But I don't
absolutely
want to use
do
that
so.
spell.
From what you can tell,
Make random
you
whispers.
have dispoused any possible ears or suspicion. At least that's your best guess.
Prestidigitation could last for an hour, so you could create sort of like a white noise kind of thing going on.
Yeah, minor illusion only lasts.
Yeah. So
Minor illusion is just more powerful and more specific.
yeah,
Whereas prestidigitation is more broad and less.
I can create sound, but I can't necessarily make it that murmur sound. Whereas with minor illusion, I could do
But
that.
like an hour's worth of you practicing
on an instrument.
because it's
Right, that would work too.
Tinkles of musical notes. Yeah, it could be that.
So yeah, do minor illusion to start with, and then prestidigitation as we actually go up, where it just sounds like I'm playing my song.
Yeah, it's just that person playing horrible on clarinet or the recorder of that Harry Potter theme. They're like, boop, boop, boop,
I'll do thaumaturgy with ominous whispers and be like, man, this guy sucks.
perfect.
I say recorder.
You wait, I want to
Hot
get you in your
crossbones.
dreams one day.
I'm sure you'd want
Like
to.
the B roll from
should
the penny whistle
every
solo
single
from My
fire
Heart Will Go On.
That doesn't work.
Anyway.
You like this fire?
So, but you know what? I'm sorry. Just can you stay down here and make sure everything's hunky dory?
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Go upstairs.
So we all go upstairs.
She can put out if you're on fire.
Puts out any fire.
Right?
Somebody sent the bounty hunter after Ermgrim.
Damn it.
Okay.
A few seconds though.
You pull the rope back.
Yeah. Both of
Can
them.
sound cross the barrier?
No.
We're technically in another dimension.
I just want to know if it specifically says that it's.
I don't think it.
Double check.
I'm just
I mean,
curious.
it would make sense for what the spell is supposed to do.
Yeah, but what makes sense and what the
Not
spells
all of
actually
them
do is not always the same thing.
Yeah. So if it doesn't say it, I'll look. Oh, you got it too.
It doesn't say outright
I want to clear my phone.
in the. In
So I
the
think it
spell.
might have been one of the things I was covering. Oh, sound within a rope trick. There we go.
But it is an extra dimension of space.
No spells
Right.
and no light can go in, but you can see out, as if there were
Only
3 by
items
5
that a
open.
creature is carrying, dragging, or pushing is the accepted amount. People say, "Hey, that's boring."
Light can't. Light's a wave. Sound is a wave, so it can't go through.
Okay.
Light is not only a wave, it's also a particle.
Lions.
One of the few things I remember from physics.
So people are split on this. Some people say that if the entrance is undetectable, that means undetectable means also sight, smell, hearing, sound. But other people say it's the only reason why it would block sound or smell from crossing the boundary.
Well, DM, what do you rule?
We have been using it as sound does not cross the boundary.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
The rope is up or down.
But we've also
When
been
it's
used,
up.
but we've
Yeah,
never,
yeah.
but we've also never used it that way in a city setting where we were in an area where people could overhear us.
You
But
mean when
we-
we climbed up the alley to hide from the guards that were running by?
Right, the alley. Yes.
I was waiting.
And we've definitely used
You mean the alley where we like
You actually.
where like we got ahead of them and then ducked in the alley so they didn't know we went in there? Yeah, I do remember that.
we do.
So I love this person's home rule is actually a really good one. I actually really like this because it's going to help with the drama. I like this rule. The ruling is that sound and smells do pass through. Light does not pass out, but it passes in. So if someone like shined a torch at you, all your faces would be lit up, but they wouldn't be able to see.
That would make sense because we can see out it, so light
Yeah.
has to bounce and reflect.
Yeah, and exactly, and so sound still would pass through, as would like smell and stuff. However, it's a much smaller aperture for how it would do, so it would be highly impact, especially through the dimensional space. Because technically, even though the rope is up, the gate is still open. It is just invisible. It is not closed.
Can I put a rug over it?
For example, if you you can absolutely put a rug over it. Yes,
Yay.
if that's something that you wanted in your rope trick, you can absolutely put a rug
still
over
have more.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would absolutely allow that.
Okay.
So, because the thing is, with the bag of holding, it can be closed, and once it's closed, the dimensional space is closed. The dimensional portal, the plane between the two, is closed, the dimensional gateway. Whereas the rope trick, it constantly stays open, and that makes a lot of sense. It just becomes invisible once the rope is pulled up. Doesn't mean it closes.
Well,
Otherwise,
it
it
closes
would be-
for spells, but an attack.
It closes. Right, but that doesn't mean the planar closes. That just means it is a planar boundary, because all planar boundary spells cannot pass through. Period. From if
And-
I'm correct, I'm pretty sure.
And attacks then, just
If
regular.
light went through it, then wouldn't it? You wouldn't be able to see anything behind it.
Light. So the magical effect of light also sheds mundane light.
Right.
So the mundanity of light would still pass through it. It doesn't mean it's magical. So like if somebody casted daylight,
I'm
the
going
magical
way
effect,
too much in the physics of my head in regards to the light bouncing back to actually visibly see it. So if light went through it, it couldn't bounce back for someone to actually see the hole not there.
So yes,
So it would be a black hole.
no. It wouldn't.
I'm talking about physics.
You wouldn't see anything at all. But the light coming out would not come out because of
It's a non-reflective one-way mirror.
yeah.
Magical.
Because it's basically
Then you wouldn't be able to see anything behind it.
so it makes
Right.
it a lot.
If you're on the outside, you couldn't
reflects
see
back.
anything.
Hold on.
It's not important.
It makes a lot more sense if you just think about the barrier of once the rope is pulled up as an illusion. And that's it.
Okay.
It's just an illusion. Meaning that light would not come out of it because the illusion is casted in that direction. Into it because it's still an illusion. Doesn't stop it.
It's the illusion of what's on the other side of the portal.
Make sense?
Yes, but spells like Scry can't go through it, period, because
It's spells.
It-
Spells
Spells,
cannot
so-
craft.
Well,
Cannot
it's
But then
cross
that-
Scry
planar
can
boundaries.
specifically say that
Unless
you
it
can't go
specifically
through
says in the spells that it can cross planar boundaries.
correct.
different,
So
like sending. But there's a percent chance.
right. So just
So I feel like that's pretty.
Throw a rug and some
Couple
pillows.
Yep.
The portal.
Yeah, you can absolutely throw a rug and then a couple pillows on there. There's a little dimple, but you're fine.
the rug has like "Don't sit here."
Yeah, because
In what
it's whatever
language?
you want it to
Oh,
be.
yeah, exactly. Whatever, and I, just in case somebody forgets, it's yeah.
That wouldn't happen.
So just a reminder, Shakar is still not with you.
I know. All right, so
So Ermgrim's being, there's a bounty out for
He
it
didn't outright say it, but someone who is not who they appeared to be
with us.
is
They-
being hunted by a bounty hunter.
and we know that the bounty hunter knows that they're with us.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We know that he knows they
That
are
we know
staying
him.
here,
Right.
Okay.
and that they are not who they appear to be.
Right, which have
Is it possible at all that one of the people that we heard earlier was not actually from one of those clans and might be Clan Vogel?
Absolutely possible.
totally. I mean,
Yeah, that's the other thing we picked up, is that
But everyone.
that is not a secret.
okay.
That is for sure being prepared for by both of the smaller clans.
Well, if it's a riot, there might be plans to literally have, like, a massive riot where everyone just beats each other up.
We're not sure. It might be tomorrow.
Very
Well-
gangs of the arts.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and somebody who's inside one of these camps who's for Vogel but following Vogel rules could be creating this thing to
Discredit them.
It's enough of a
Yeah.
known thing that it's not going to be a surprise. And it's tomorrow.
Plus, you said they're trying to poison a dwarf.
Should
I
we?
said that.
Yes. Poisoning a dwarf is not a good plan.
That's what I was fine drinking earlier. I thought it would be fine. They're gonna.
That was
poison a
my
dwarf.
initial thought, was that it was a setup. Like,
Should we?
if someone was specifically hired to target a dwarf, but then again, the leader of the clan might not be a dwarf.
Right.
Whoever is the orator could be somebody else.
It could be a plan to kill the orator too.
Isn't that what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're trying to
I
kill
don't
the
mean to
leader
interrupt.
of the.
Cole, you're very familiar with the fact that you remember this. You had heard of this person. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, I had heard their
In
voice
passing.
before, but I didn't remember
Right.
who they were.
They don't appear to be affiliated, or affiliated is not the right word. They don't appear to be a member of any clan. They're doing a job.
Right. But a skilled orator is.
During an oration, Clan Vogel will be attacked.
And
I guess I made the assumption that whoever would be attacked would be the orator or standing beside them.
Well, removing a great orator like that is not necessarily a bad idea either, because words can sway lots of things.
I
Of
thought you guys
course.
told me that you heard it was the head of the clan they were going to
Don't forget what
They
that
didn't say the
means.
head. They didn't say.
They did not say the head of the clan. They said that they were going after Clan Vogel. They did not say who in Clan
Cole,
Vogel.
roll an intelligence or a history check.
Attacking somebody with your beam is a very big
That's what I was about
Yeah.
to say. No need to roll. That's what
Yeah.
I was about to say.
No, and that is in there. But,
a huge deal.
oh, I know.
I know we can go back and forth on this. I think the press, and I do want to talk more
But
about it. But the
if-
thing is, can you send to Ermgrim and let them know that somebody's coming after him right now? I can't like connect with
can't
Shakar
talk
this far.
through-
Here's the other
I would
thing,
need to
though.
climb
So
out
here's
to
the
make
deal.
sure it
You
happens.
can warg
Okay.
into him, but there's no way you can give him any direction or instruction.
Yeah.
You can see and hear what he sees, but that's it.
But
Yeah,
you can't
but
do
I
that
can't.
from in here.
But
either.
No.
here's the thing.
He's
Well-
just a spy. That's it.
Yeah. But
From my point of view, it's clear that we need to stop whatever is about to happen.
If
Especially if it's targeting someone of your college.
Here's the thing, though, is if a person of my college is killed accidentally in a riot, doesn't necessarily mean anything to the college, because wrong place, wrong time.
that's terrible.
Your college wouldn't at least investigate.
They would investigate, but if all they find is that they were in the wrong place, wrong time, because that's what the evidence is showing,
And if
not
it
what
was
actually happened, but what the evidence shows,
Found that they were stabbed with an assassin's blade coated in poison.
they would have to.
Wouldn't
Depends
raise
on the.
eyebrows.
That would raise eyebrows if it's found that way.
Said if it's during a riot.
I'll-
Are they going to
if
look?
it's during a riot, they may not investigate too closely because somebody got stabbed during a riot. It does happen.
Is the poison still going to be
That's
in
a
their
good
system?
point. Your college does be like, hey, this is a dangerous job. If you get killed, I mean, we can't like come to your aid. You accept this responsibility upon yourself.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Obviously, if like political parties are involved, that's
Right.
something that we absolutely investigate because there's that strong treaty of bardic immunity that's in place.
They would have to be able to prove that the orator was killed by a political party for them to really come after
Or
somebody.
government or,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
some people or something.
They did, I mean, yeah, if I get stabbed by a cut purse, they're going to go after him, but they're not going to go after him like they would if I was
An
killed because
investigation
of
will
a.
for sure happen.
Yeah.
How far it goes depends on the evidence.
I think the best course of action for us would to be make sure if there is a bardic orator, they don't die.
Another thing we might want to find out is if the college is actually supporting this bid from Vogel.
I don't know that I mean, they could be just being paid.
Well, no, that's why, because the college
I mean, your actions
specifically.
aren't sponsored by the college.
No, but if they were sent here specifically by the college, that may let us know that the conclave, who the conclave is supporting.
Roll a history check for me.
Of course, I had to open my mouth.
No. This is good stuff.
Ooh, 17.
You are very full aware, like kind of like the prime directive when it comes to Star Trek. You're very full aware that one of the tenets of the Bardic College is to not get involved.
Observe, record, don't fuck with.
The college as an institution does not take sides. It does not get bribed. It does not get paid anything. Its whole institution as an ideal is to remain unbiased and to seek the truth. That is it's a massive cornerstone of its thing. So to have the actual college be bankrolling this thing would be highly.
He's selling his skills. He's mercenarying his oration ability.
Which is also where having
Could
another
be-
bard coming out of somewhere could help take away from that. He will.
I just think
I cannot stand toe to toe with him as an orator, though.
if it's the man we saw earlier, him dying just makes this messier.
To a certain extent, yes, depending on how he dies.
They're trying to go for the head of Vogel. That way, they don't have that person to take power.
Also, how are they going to get the Vogel guards away from here?
They're not.
Vogel's the biggest clan
Starting a
here.
riot. Why would you take the guards away?
No, but Vogel is the biggest clan with the easiest way to stop this riot in place at that time. They're gonna need to pull those guards off.
We don't know which clan we need to support at the moment. We haven't figured that out.
Maybe, I don't want to do this, but maybe we should find out from Emerus who we're trying to stop.
He won't tell us.
He didn't know. We asked
He
him.
didn't care. He just didn't.
All he wanted us to do was stop.
I think he didn't tell us because he wanted us to have plausible deniability,
Yep.
right? So
I think he didn't tell us because he wanted to have
That actually
plausible
came up.
deniability.
If you guys remember.
Yeah, he said that he didn't want to tell us because that way he could deny that we knew anything.
well, and us.
So why would you think he would tell us now?
There are quite a few ways, and a lot of people that are very good at telling when people are lying, and spells that are do so. So if you don't tell a lie, and you don't know information, and information is compartmentalized, you're protected from those skills and abilities.
So I don't know that saving the actual Vogel clan benefits us in any way. It doesn't necessarily help us.
No,
But
I'm.
saving a badged bard
Yes,
does help
it does.
If nothing else, then for your kinship.
And if nothing else, potentially I could get him to go away from this mercenary thing as I saved his life.
Oh, like life debt.
Yeah.
A skilled orator telling the truth.
Or we
be
could get him to switch
a
sides.
great weapon in whatever battle this is.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we don't worry about which clan comes out on top tomorrow.
Maybe we just
We
worried
just
about getting that
limit
bar
the
down.
damage
Yeah.
as much as we can.
The other so
And how
limit
do
the
we do
damage.
Does
Yeah,
anybody have anything that can help calm down a crowd like that?
I can charm some people, but you know,
Call emotions.
Oh, whiskey. How many creatures can that affect?
It's a radius.
Is it a radius?
Yeah.
It's a pretty dope spell.
I don't know. I've never really used it.
That's why I'm bringing it up, asking who has something
Okay.
like that.
Argus just starts whistling.
It's a 20-foot radius or sphere.
20
Also-
radius sphere that's 40 feet diameter sphere. That's big space. That's a big space.
Couple dozen people.
Is there somewhere?
Ermgrim will be back tomorrow morning. Perhaps he'll have more
He
information.
said this time tomorrow,
Oh, this time.
which was like late.
I thought
or
that was him conversing through
mid
people.
afternoon to late afternoon. Well,
I
you
thought
don't know.
him actually leaving. He said he was going to be back.
It's like, give me a day.
Okay.
By this time tomorrow, I'll know.
Can we do
We don't
some-
know what will happen once I tell him that there's a bounty hunter after
We
him.
don't.
What we might also want to do is find a spot that would be better to run to during the attack.
Do we really want to sit here and calm everyone as someone's getting murdered?
no, I think
Like, is that really...
No, but if we can calm them before they get to the point of being able to murder him, that would be helpful.
or
Or if we can just calm the amount down to where it's only a handful of people trying to murder them instead of, 30, 40, 100 people, that could be useful.
There's another piece of all this. Who do we... Why are we interfering necessarily?
That's what I'm saying. We don't know which clan to protect. So it could benefit us for this to happen the way it's supposed to happen.
If it's the Vogel leader, I don't care. If it's the Bard, I can't let that happen.
Which is why I said we protect the bard.
I agree.
We don't worry so much about the overall outcome of the day.
But this is a plan within plans. All sides know what's going to happen.
right.
So it's going to be used in certain ways.
It is.
On all levels.
It is. And I don't think we can stop.
Can we
On a
spend?
small scale, maybe we can prevent deaths.
We could
On a
slow it.
macro scale, this is going to happen.
Is there a way at least we could mitigate the damages
That's
to those that are?
How do we do
what
that?
I'm saying. We
Yeah.
protect the other bard.
And
We make sure we protect as many people as possible. But
That's why
there's
I
only
was-
so much that we do.
That's why I was putting it
Only
up.
so far out.
Maybe
is
there's somewhere we could funnel people to once the riot happens. So that way it's not a large amount of people coming at everybody at once.
how does the
Like, is there somewhere that we could maybe run to from there with
minute.
maybe, I don't care about the Vogel, but the Bard, where we could like funnel people down, and so it comes down from a giant crowd to.
We don't know where this is happening. We
Right.
don't know the
No,
landscape.
that's why I was thinking maybe we can find something.
You mean like a bottleneck?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's if that's going to be the way
what
that we go,
Cole
then I
was
can
saying
go
in
out
his
and I
not
can-
military mind.
I mean, if that's the plan, then I can definitely go out and survey and use my urban bounty hunter skills to see if there would be a safe place. I just don't know if that's what we're trying to do or not.
I will say that yes, being an urban bounty hunter, you really good at, kind of walking throughout a city, casing the joint, and figuring out what would be great ambush points, leading points, kiting points, bottleneck points. Like, you could absolutely come up with like a route where you'd like possibly want to be pursued and kite somebody into a certain area to bring them into a kill box. Like, that's your bread and butter.
But the question is, do we know where this riot's going to even start? That's where I don't want to.
Not yet.
Right, not yet. So by the time it starts,
We could potentially figure that out in the morning and
Okay.
scout it out. I think we just need to agree on overall, like,
What we're gonna
what's our
do.
goal here.
is it to just protect the bard and mitigate damages? And is mitigate damages mean to try to get as many people as we can safe?
Yes. Civilians.
Right.
Why the Bard doesn't show up? Just throwing a little chaos into there. What
He's
if-
in on it?
No, I'm saying I'm saying what if we
Kidnap
If the
him?
being
kind of, show him a good time for
No.
show him a good time
Can I
for
leave?
the day.
No.
If like the bard doesn't show,
Yeah, if,
then we still just funnel the people.
No.
Well-
No, then it
she's-
won't happen.
She's in a roundabout way asking, what if we delay him from not
Right.
showing up
Oh,
in the
okay.
first
What do you
place?
do, polymorph
Okay, I
him?
got you.
we certainly
kidnapped him.
Eliminate the
could.
orator
I mean,
from the plan of having an orator.
You
Right.
And I mean, you're
It's in the
comfortable
way
with
of
that we
safety.
could.
It's not in the way of.
You're very good at making
I
yourself look like
understand it's
other
preventing
people.
what he is planning.
Oh, hell no.
the only are you willing to
You're also very good at escaping.
are you
Yeah.
willing to knock out and potentially detain this Bard?
Could
against his
you
will?
convince him?
They would do that
Yeah.
to you in a second.
Could
Could you convince him that he's in danger and he needs
I
to?
might be able to convince him.
I mean,
how-
your own party would do that to you.
Oh yeah. Oh, we would kidnap you in a moment. It's just you would trust us.
yeah, there's a difference between
After the
kidnapping
fact.
me. That's why I said the Bard, not
Well,
my
You're
Bard ass.
protecting his life by
Could
him not being
you
there.
perhaps convince him to delay?
Right.
Potentially,
Reveal
Do you
yourself.
think he knows what's going to happen?
Certainly try.
We don't know if he's the target.
but as a Bard, if I'm getting paid by somebody to do these performances, it's a reflection on me and the college if I do not make it there on time to do the
Which
job.
we send the double to stand in for him. And if nothing happens, he shows up on his own.
I mean, I can talk good.
And we do a little switcheroo. And he goes on with the show.
I mean, we for that I have a better spell than
Long will
that.
have the
As
whole
long as
city.
nobody throws anything at him, it'll be fine.
We still go nearby. We just don't put the bard on the stage.
Yep.
We put Log on the stage. If nothing happens, Log feigns diarrhea. And we pull a little switcheroo, and the bard goes on with the show.
Here's the other part of it. Here's another idea. What if we pull the Bard off and put an image there instead of Log? Because the image might be better. Especially if I have the other Bard talking at the same time, because then the riot will potentially still happen and unseat Vogel while keeping them
Are
safe.
you that good of an illusionist yet?
I mean, I'm better than I used to be, and I'm gonna.
Can your
Since we haven't
illusion?
fallen asleep yet,
Can your illusion make a grand speech?
I cast major image and actually talk at the same time through the image, so you get that echo effect.
You do that right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he asked if I'm that good of an illusionist.
Okay. You do this within the rope trick.
Yeah, which is fine because yeah.
Sure. major image to project the.
For what I'm doing right now to prove my point is I am just doing another image of myself talking at the same time.
Oh, I
do.
understand. You're making like an illusory duplicate of it.
Right, and I'm creating the sound from me so that way it echoes. Because I believe
You
that
have access to major image? Isn't that a 5th level spell?
it's a 3rd level spell. It is one of the spells I took last level.
I feel like silent image is a higher level than that. Is it? Can major? Oh wait, major image can make sound.
Silent image is only first.
Yeah.
It's an upgrade of minor illusion.
Right.
Major image is third.
Well, there's minor image, major image.
It seems
Silent.
completely real, including sounds.
Dope. Yeah, so it even smells. like
Yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, the only thing that lets anybody know that it's an illusion is if somebody tries to put their hand through it, throw something through
Arcana
it.
intelligence check on it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You see a perfect illusory duplicate of Cole on the other side of the rope trick, saying, "Bring me you're tired, you're poor, you're hungry, yearning to be free."
I mean, that's not
How
bad.
long can you hold that?
I can hold that
10
for a
minutes.
while.
10 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes.
That's not a bad. Then we don't put Lahg
That's
in danger.
well, and that's long enough for a speech to happen.
Great. Maybe you can still be him for the day. Get backstage. Your illusion happens.
You
Get
go
stage.
invisible, his illusion takes over.
Yeah.
That way you're not in danger.
Oh, switcheroo,
Yeah,
We'll switch it
bait
around.
and switch.
because the riot itself is not necessarily a bad thing, but we don't necessarily want the bard to die.
And it will give us more information.
Finding the bard.
I thought you were going to do that.
Dan?
I'm making the image of him.
I've done my job.
That too. Yeah. They're all arguing.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's arguing. I love it.
Well, it's very much a. I came up with a plan. Why are you throwing monkey wrenches in it?
It's your turn. I did my part.
If I have a fun new spell where I can find creatures, which would be the bard, if he's within 1,000 feet of us,
Ooh. That's fun.
then I could really find him.
You might have to canvass the town to do that, though.
You can canvas a town with me.
Can you do the thing where you look on other people?
Right, because you know where.
I mean,
Right.
Not today.
it's
You
not,
would know where to hunt for these people.
I can't.
Right.
You would know exactly where, like, people
Right.
of that ilk and that economic stature and
The
that
lights are
bracket,
outside.
tax
Always wanted to
bracket
prepare.
would stay.
Because I've been talking to the people along the way.
Because if he was your quarry, you would know where to look.
I
Exactly.
will always have it.
How's the lights go? I mean, it makes sense.
Guys, this is great. Look at you guys working together, using
But it sounds like a
background
plan
of
now.
your
What about our
plan.
this?
I've been waiting
The
to
thing
use
is,
that
it's-
spell, so.
Locate creature, though, is my 4th level. It's my most powerful.
You can't cast divination again for another week or
No.
7 days.
Well, but he has scrying.
No, I can't cast it
Other
until tomorrow.
spell.
Another 7 days. You can only do it once every 7
No.
days.
You can do
I
it
can
multiple
cast it the
times.
same day if I really want to. I just have a 25% chance of not working.
Oh, and it's compounded.
Mhm.
If it- Yes.
I could, since I have lots of magic left,
tells
I
me you're
could
not
prep a
gonna
lot of good
succeed.
berries.
I'm not
so we
gonna-
can
no, it's-
control and getting people up if they get killed. You should have a pocket full of good berries.
So
I've got spells too.
first thing tomorrow, we track him down.
Before finishing a long
You
rest.
convince him that this is the correct plan.
Let him know about potentially that he will be murdered and that we have maybe a way to help him.
In the short term, we maybe make Lahg his duplicate so that there's extra insurance there.
If we're going to send Log around town, we need to make sure there's somebody with him, though.
At the last moment,
Twig doesn't stop you from doing stupid things.
He tries.
at the last moment, your illusion takes over.
Mhm.
If the riot happens, we do as much as we can
Mm-hmm.
to limit the damage and the loss to the people of this area.
Okay, what if the fact that he actually knows about this riot and it's all a part and he's going to have an illusion and already be aware of all the situation?
Then,
Well, then
Because
maybe.
this seems like a very
Well,
common
then he
knowledge
doesn't
thing.
Then he doesn't show up.
Or he does the same thing you're doing and puts an illusion of himself
Right.
there.
I think in that outcome, we help him.
Do you want me to send to him tonight? And give him a heads up? Or do you want to corner him and try to
if you're going to do that, we need to be kind of vague, too, because we don't want to get too deep and have him run from us because he doesn't want us to interfere.
It's probably better to corner.
I think in person would be best in this situation.
I agree.
No, the gut
Also,
buster might be
is
really
your
helpful
spell,
tomorrow.
is it able to differentiate between, like, an illusion or a actual person?
Yeah, it connects with the person.
Okay, well then, if he's using his illusion to move around town, we can probably still find him then.
Yeah, no, my locate creature spell locates a creature, not an illusion. Like that's
Within 1,000 feet.
correct.
Have to be within your radius
I
of.
think an in-person conversation with him and his badge would do a lot more to convince him that we're on his side
Right.
than a random message into his brain.
So can we use reasoning to try to figure out where he might be staying? Either at the Vogels, I'm assuming, if they're being his patrons, or the nice
He, I mean,
I'll
he
use
could
the urban
actually
bounty
be
hunter
staying
before.
in
Okay,
the same hotel as us, too. He's...
I mean, we'll hit the streets and look for him.
The little red girl, you might know where he is.
Melinda.
Okay.
I mean, you know, she was a name Reds for Vogel.
She was helping
Yeah.
For Vogel. She
in
might
that whole
know.
production.
Probably know
Where is
where
that?
he does he speak in the same place.
You can find her. You know, use locate creature on her.
I don't have it prepared today.
So
I
what-
can go
But you
today.
can send to her.
questions do I want to
I'll
ask?
pick him off.
Because I'm not talking to people.
I could send to her and ask if she
I think
knows where he is.
your real job is just trying to figure out where he's at.
Okay.
So
At least within
And
1,000
potentially-
feet so that I could.
areas near him if we need to run. That would help us.
right, we need to locate him, and then secondarily, we need to locate where this whole thing is supposed to happen.
Right. So my first question is questions that I should probably ask to help locate him. Like what are, I mean, there's going to be certain things that are going to,
Where
it's because teacher's going to be like, so what are you going to ask? So I wanna-
Where is the bard of the college for Vogel staying, if you know?
Did we catch his name before?
no,
right.
No,
That's
we
what.
did not.
saw him from across the square.
He had already been speaking to, so if he said his name, we didn't get that in time.
We saw a bard
I was
yesterday. Do
literally
you know where he's
listening
staying?
to that
Okay.
as I got here today.
Someone at the stature of a bard was staying in town. Where would they stay?
They might stay here. Bards are always looking for the next big thing. Even if when we're working other jobs, we're always looking for the other story.
You can always ask Bill, right?
I was gonna say, hey, Bilgerar, is the
Yeah.
bard staying here, or do you know where he's at?
I mean, yeah, that's an easy one. That way we know tonight. Could he be staying at the with some lady friends or guy friends too at the?
I mean, he could be staying wherever the hell he wants to stay. I'm just saying, if this is a known area for hearing things, he might be staying here.
Cole, roll a history. More of contemporary history nonetheless.
Dirty 20.
30-20. Okay, so you're familiar with how these types of bardic things work out. Being a member of the college yourself, often, whether it be to the purpose of ingratiating themselves to the rule of law of the Treaty of Bardic Immunity, or doing so to make sure that there's a stipend, to make sure they're involved, especially if someone is paid. There are people who are not below being bribed to try to, embellish the truth for bards. There are people that have been known to do that. You have been warned against such things and trained to resist them. Although, not in
There are bards with their being who still do that, even though we've been told not. We shouldn't do it.
It's not abnormal for the practice of them to provide room and board. If there is a particular area, party, individual, government that they are investigating, it is not abnormal for the bard to claim bardic immunity and therefore it's not by no means required, but the individual or individuals or party that is under investigation or whatever is part of the story try to ingratiate themselves to the bard in order to shed themselves in a better light in whatever story they may have by giving them things such as room, board, expenses. Example. Like,
If-
it's like saying, "Oh yeah, you're the press. Let's put you up in a nice hotel nearby. Let's give you like full compensated continental breakfast, the whole thing, whatever you need, and you'll write a good story about us."
If he's an honest bard not trying to curry favor or get by on other people's stuff, he will not be at the Vogel estate.
Okay.
Or
That's what I was about to say.
But then again, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I don't want to say that someone taking up a bard taking up that on offer. That's extremely normal.
No.
That's extremely normal for a bard to actually accept that proposal. Very, very normal. Not necessarily a bad thing. Not like a morally bad thing at all.
Okay.
It's actually quite normal. And it's one of the things that the Bardic College teaches you. Go like, yeah, we've trained you to be a charismatic individual. It's okay to rub a couple stones every once in a while. It's okay to like
Just keep that neutrality in mind, kind of thing.
Yeah.
In the notes they send back to the college, they're neutral.
Yeah,
In what they say and do in the moment,
that's whatever's gonna suit them best.
Whatever it takes.
they're a little more flexible.
So, I cast exposition to explain that
Sure.
out to everybody, since everybody,
So yes, there is a chance that they said no, I'll do it myself. Or there's the chance where they absolutely possibly took up upon somebody who hired them to do a job to also be sheltered, fed,
Took that
room and
cushy
board
room and board.
by.
Well, and if you know you're going to be potentially pissing off other people in town, you might want to do that because then you're protected. That's the other part of the neutrality thing with your part at college. You want to make sure you're
Look after number one.
Yep.
Because I'm pretty sure there's also stories of bards who have been captured, tortured to produce the right story, not what the true story was.
Yes, that's one of the 101 classes that you took is that although you may have the backing and the rule of law protecting you, you are still a target.
It's the same thing
So-
as the press is in the real world.
Very good chance he's at the Vogel estate.
Very good chance. Actually, we've been told, use what you can. Just keep the story neutral. Now, I don't know if he's doing that.
So then I don't know if we can tip him off without also tipping off the Vogel.
Yeah, Vogel knows what's going on.
I'm sure they do.
That's how easy we figured this out. Vogel knows what's going on.
So
It's not.
there's some rumors going about town. Mr. Bard, we are friends of the college. We wish to make sure that you are safe.
If I come to him, even with Vogel around, showing my being and telling him of potential danger, there is the possibility that I could be able to talk to him alone without Vogel overhearing what we're saying.
I mean, you could talk to him alone using your head too.
I could.
With the ideology of this town, I'm pretty sure everybody listens to everything that everyone else says.
Sounds so just can't quite place it.
So I don't know that you're that safe.
That's how
However-
I talk to him about the stuff, as opposed to... I mean, there's always new things coming out of the college, as in, you need to put in extra space in between your notes when you write your sheet paper and stuff like that.
That's it. You just came back from the college. You're saying, "Oh, I got to update you about the
Right.
latest AMA style." So
You've been through a lot for you. I love it.
Thank you, that's where I was going with it.
Oh my god.
There's a new Chicago-style citation
Yeah.
situation that you have to deal with.
Fucking Christ! I thought I'd.
There's a
never hear
new
the fucking words
Chicago
ever
style
in my
deep
life.
dish citation. That's so weird.
So go there. That's your guys. That's your guys for me. Why you're there. Why you show the college being and then Vogel's like, "Oh, never mind. It's just a stupid update." But
I mean,
need
it's
to
a
talk to him.
possibility. If he's gotten updates recently, though, and I try and do that, he may call me out on my BS if he doesn't believe me.
Oh, just be a good liar.
Yeah.
Just to be a good liar.
I don't lie enough to the rest of
He
you.
knows what the
Dig
hell's going
deep
on.
into the charisma that they have been taught you, and do your best.
Also, it's just to
I'm a
get
bard
you.
of truth, thank you very much.
All right, it's just to get you in the door.
You have a story about
What's the end
arachnophobia?
goal?
Yeah.
What's the end goal?
Somewhere. Now, do I tell anybody that story is the deal?
I mean, it's just to get you in the door. Once you're talking to him,
Right.
then you talk to him.
What's the end goal?
The thing that one of your mentors told you?
Which one?
Some of the greatest truths are behind.
Some of the greatest truths are behind the locked doors.
Mm-hmm.
Get behind that locked door, man.
Yeah. All you need to do is get that locked door.
Let me double check that because I'm the one who put that the actual phrase out.
I'm pretty sure that's it. I think I remember that one pretty.
Sometimes the best information is hidden behind the locked door.
Do you need a buddy system? I feel
Why
like
you
we all
break it
need buddy
down.
systems tomorrow. Yes.
I don't.
Buddy.
I mean, that's why my
Don't
teacher
tell me
taught me how to use thieves' tools. I just left them back at the college.
I've got the thieves' tools.
I got
You
you.
can always buy some.
I don't know that we split
No,
up
not
too
not
much at
really
all
well.
tomorrow. I think we go.
Sounds like a
We all go
better idea.
together.
Don't discount the fact that purchasing thieves' tools is not a necessarily inconspicuous activity.
That's literally what I was just saying to
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
We've had a lot of places that have been very.
You know, I had to shape those myself. It's not like I just went and bought them.
That's the.
Sure, you could have found some.
I mean, I think
Argus is the fucking critic. Sometimes just like he's always got
He's
the
also
smart
a
aleck
cleric.
response to everything. That's the lawful good cleric is the biggest smartass of the group, and it just
He is so truthful that it comes off as an asshole.
Yeah,
That's how I play Argus.
I mean,
That's a
when
really
he murdered that woman, he's flat out told them, I did not burn her. She just burst into flame.
he didn't do it. Really,
do it.
He tells
That
the
is
truth
true.
to a point that, like,
brutal honesty.
yes.
I mean, even to himself, because he went brutally honest and burnt the fuck out of his hand.
What's your charisma score?
13.
That's actually not bad.
It's not horrible. I think it's more of a choice then.
Yes. Definitely a
Be
choice.
abrasive.
He knows that he could be nicer. He just doesn't give a shit.
It's true. There are times that he does say it on
You're
purpose.
scathing and scorching.
And you can always see it on
It
his
burns.
face too. You can always see it like right here. He'll be
Fire
like,
burns.
He's saying something that makes him so happy to say, but he
Yeah.
knows it's going to burn you to the depth of
Like,
your
people
soul.
are like, you know, that's really offensive. I'm like, yeah, that's why I said it.
Haven't you ever
Only
heard of a burn?
offensive if you take it that way.
I can't control your emotions.
I'm not gonna touch that one. They got a whole lot of shit to say about that.
I think maybe tomorrow for just Cole's little visit for his AMA style update, it would be a bit of a flag to have like 6 people going with him.
I'm not saying we follow him all the way into the other
Okay.
bard's chamber, but
Right.
we don't necessarily just let him go
Oh no. Yeah, I agree.
without all of us being somewhere
We
close
don't
by.
walk in a group. We're all the same.
Close.
You guys have spells. You guys have ways of making yourselves.
Right, and while he's going to the
I
bar's
don't.
chamber, we can be trying to find funnels and safe areas that are.
If
You
we can
know.
figure out where.
That's right where it's going to be at.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
But people have to know where it's going to be. It's
Yeah.
just, it's not like, I don't think this is a hidden thing.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, there's got to
Right.
be some flyers at
Right.
least being like, "Hey, come."
You can't
Town
like
Square.
Yeah,
have like
exactly.
an order.
You know, the snaps. Everyone's snapping over there.
Or-
big fight.
Banana.
I didn't know we stepped
Once
into a
you're a
beautiful.
jack, you're always a jack. Once you're a bogle, you're always a bogle.
And I mean, even
The new one or the old one?
I keep picturing that one
West
band
side steer
as
crag.
Montague, and that West Side Story is based on Romeo and Juliet. And I keep
Yeah.
picturing that whatever that other M name is, just Montague.
Montague and Capulet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
Titanic, your M all the way.
Montana, yeah.
Yeah.
They have to know where
Montana
they're
go.
They have to know where they're going.
Right.
True that. True that.
So-
Your first copper coin to the last golden day.
We make sure he gets in safe.
Yep.
We find out where we need to go.
Right. What
Then
about?
we go and disperse ourselves throughout the crowd once we're there? Like, buddy system that way? Or no?
Shani, you feel
You
okay, about like 60 seconds left in your spell.
Okay, guys, we're
I just don't think we.
do we want to keep talking? I can burn another spell to keep this up. We're
No.
okay.
We
Okay.
gotta tell Armgrim that there's a bounty hunter after him
Yeah.
with a feathered hat that's half elf.
You got a minute.
Anything else?
Go.
I can't do it from in here.
Well, when we get down
Cross dimensions.
when we get down
I
there.
can, but it's a chance of it failing.
Which I
How are
would
we
have to
gonna do
actually go out to recast the spell to create the sounds too. So.
Bounty hunters after you. Half elf, feathered cap,
Stay where you're at, maybe.
I think that's like 9 words right
can see
there.
through your illusions.
Wish he had sending.
Just a little like,
Tell them about the riot. Riot tomorrow. Be cautious coming back.
yeah.
If you can, get back sooner with the amulet.
Or protect the amulet.
Yeah.
Protect the amulet.
Protect the amulet.
Stay safe.
Yeah, protect the amulet.
Yeah, we don't want
The
him coming
amulet's
back, do we?
important. I mean, Armgrim's important too, but like,
We could always make a certain flame person, potentially a leader, since he did help kill a worm.
You can always, I don't know. From Kossuth's message, there's another option of letting the Durgar come and take the city.
Well, weren't we supposed to be leaving soon to go down to his city? Or is that what we sent him to go do?
What we sent to him.
yeah.
He was going to talk to the church, essentially.
The weird non-existent church, yeah.
But I don't think they would accept anyone coming out of the breach without it being pre-warned. They would see that as an attack.
When we get down there, I can organize Shikar. I won't be able to tell him what to do, but I can at least see.
You can see where he is.
I can see where he is, I can see what's up, and I will write it on a piece of paper, and that way we're not saying it out loud, and you can then craft your messages you see fit. Okay.
Alright.
Alright, yeah. Glad they only go 5 feet up. Super smart.
That must have been
People below you are like,
below us.
oh, keep it down.
We're having fun up here.
Shut up, you dogs!
Purdue was like, everything all
My
right?
phone's skipping low.
Thumbs up of
USB-C.
Yeah. I
Everything
can if you
good?
don't
I got one for
mind.
you, but
Oh, mine's is like
it
the
an
white
iPhone?
tip one. Yeah.
I gotcha.
White
USB-C?
tip.
No.
Or the
Apple.
I got one over there.
Do you?
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
I got you, buddy. Or whoever works.
There's a plug underneath.
There's also one right
Yeah.
underneath the bed right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Right behind your foot.
So like on
Right,
the,
right in front.
Yeah, I
Yeah. Okay, cool.
No, there's an extension cord underneath the bed.
Yeah, there is. Straight. Yeah,
I was looking for the extension
Just don't-
cord. I saw where the
Okay,
cord plugs
so
into the outlet.
you guys. Tell you, sir.
yep.
You guys only fall 10 feet. You're fine.
5 feet.
5 feet, sure, whatever. Pernua's like, everything all right?
Everything's fine. Everything good here?
Lots to talk.
You see her look at the tip of her spear, which has what looks like a fresh coat of blood on it.
Oh, goody.
So, sure you will see to it, but it appears that we have peeping toms about.
That's kind of the thing of this place.
Yes, just a right jab in the posteriors.
Like,
Did they actually come in the room?
No, so there's a photo on the wall that actually has the eyes And they decided that they would like to take a look at trying to see if
What is this?
I was going to disrobe. But I noticed them, so I instead decided to just stab them in the posterior.
No, what is this?
From what I've heard, I'm quite good at it.
You
I
are.
would say so.
Or no,
You
what
are-
is this photo you speak of?
There's a painting up on the wall of like, and the eyes are.
Out.
Just so we pull it down,
Pull it down. There's 2 holes in the wall,
and I look through the holes.
and well, there's 3 holes in the wall now.
I look through the 2 holes where the eyes
You
are.
looked. It looks like to be like the crawl space
Okay.
like between the walls. There looks as you look through. You don't have dark vision, so you don't see it.
You gonna drink that?
No.
Argent, can you set the fire in that crawl space?
I mean, I can.
Eh,
I'm not.
not burned down
Yeah.
the hotel.
Okay. You want to set a fire on the crawl space?
No, he didn't say that.
Web infested crawl space?
All I said was I can't.
That's
Not
all
that I
he
was
said.
going to.
He didn't say, yeah, fire.
I just fulfilled
crap
one of
on the
Cole and
floor.
Log's duties. You know, we're gonna put the bad idea out there.
I want to cast Prestidigitation, and I want to smear that on the other side of the wall.
Oh, you want to like put gunk so that there's that you can't see through the eye holes?
You can soil an object.
Oh, that's
no
true,
larger
you
than 1
can.
cubic foot.
Okay, yeah,
Oh.
cool. So you can just fill the holes with like cobwebs,
Are
and
you-
detritus,
wait,
and other crap.
Are you
No,
giving them
I like
raccoon eyes so that way you
yeah.
can see if who's doing it?
Raccoon eyes,
Like the old binocular trick where they
Shit
put the shoe
around.
shine
Oh,
black
I
on there and then they
understand.
put them up. Yeah.
She can
Sure,
see
sure.
who it is.
So
and
if
look at
they
it.
go to look through there, they're gonna get.
That's fun. Yeah, I have no problem with that. I like that. Sure. So the next person you see, if they have like cobwebs and shit and grease and all the crap on
And they have
them,
no
And,
idea.
and raccoon eyes,
they
yeah.
don't clean themselves before they go into public. Sure.
They're gonna have pink eyes.
It's not feces. It's soil. It's not. Okay. Listen.
Could be.
According to the DM, it's not.
It's not feces.
If I'm soiling an object,
Okay. You don't get a spell that just you cast feces. I'm not giving that.
there's a poop bucket
It's
downstairs.
not that kind of game.
You're not devolving it to
If you're watching this, if you're watching
People are
this
drinking
for-
dandruff right now.
Yeah, that's just true. We're drinking dandruff and you have a problem with this?
if you're watching this for your kink,
You're the one who made a poop bucket.
will not be doing. Will not be doing. They will not be doing the ski. It's not happening.
He's the one who made a talking poop bucket, yet we're in the wrong.
Someone's gonna poop on his face.
I want to dirty the other side of the eye
What did
hole.
this end? Okay, you know what?
I'm gonna dirty the other side of the eye holes.
I understand.
We'll go
Dirty the
whatever
other side.
whatever that means to
To
you.
possibly dirty the face of an individual who would look through them in the future,
Correct.
in the near future.
In such a way that we would be able to tell that he was there.
Nice soot.
If they don't clean their face.
Yes.
Okay, you do so. You also threw out also like kind of bunk it up a little bit. So if they do, they kind of have to like poke it a little bit.
Right.
Perfect. There is an extra hole in here that's the size of like the shape of a spearhead that just went right through the wall.
I'll mend that.
Wait, I'm gonna send Twig through and
That's fine.
let him scout it a little bit.
Before Eleazar rehangs the picture.
You send
Make
Tweg.
sure it's
Do you
all-
warg into Tweg?
Yeah, I just kind of see.
Cool. You see what looks like a very, 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 very short, like only enough to like sit the very ends of your ass cheeks onto a little chair and tiny little table, and what looks like to be like a small, like not I want to say thermos, but like little tea. Looks like some like this is like a setup for somebody to like camp out and like stake out here to watch through here.
We're in
like
the big
Like,
suite.
see where he
Like a
came
perv
into the
corner.
room?
It's like a perv corner.
We're in the big suite, so it would make sense that this is a prime spine.
Mm-hmm. Do that.
You need to have a talk with your buyer.
He
and-
probably paid extra to let people do that.
You can't, yeah.
See, this is how I feel, guys. You know?
Could finally empathize.
So I'll Twig come back and I'll report what was in there.
Did
Did you find a blood path of this guy that got
Wait, is
slammed?
there still a person there, or
There's not a person. So whoever was there, what looks like has fled. There is a bit of a blood path. It's up to you whether you choose to pursue it.
Do you want to follow into the hole to find out where you came in?
Well, yeah, so I want to find where the entrance to this.
Yeah, do you want to send Twig continually? Sure, go ahead and roll a, I'm going to say
On
a,
the blood.
as you're tracking,
Exactly.
survival check with advantage because you have a trail to follow.
I'm using twigs.
Yes.
So,
I believe survival is wisdom.
Yes.
It is.
which is 0 for him. So,
That's why I'm good at that. Not nature.
ooh, 17.
17. Yeah, they find an area and they come upon, they go down a level, up a level, across a level to an area that doesn't seem to be on, like, it doesn't make sense. It's almost like it's bigger on the inside area, almost like it was an optical illusion as the outside is actually thicker to make a whole room as he walks through another area. And then he goes down one more level and comes to what looks like a sieve in the wall that could like pop open like a secret door. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so I'll also keep going to see like where this access point would be.
That is so you come across like the inside of the drywall, old stone on behind you. There's like the wood and like the ridges, which is like that partial insulation and still space. And there looks like hinges on the inside and a seam across the wings that looks like a small doorway that's kind of like hidden. And when it's closed on the other side, you can't see. It's probably like flush with the walls.
So there's not a gap for him to squeeze through?
Possibly. Would you like him to attempt to squeeze through? Because he is a spider, he can kind of like flatten out.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, just because I want to see like
Yeah,
where from what it looks like from the
old
outside.
building. Yeah, he can do so. Yeah, he can squeeze through. Is he trying to be stealthy about this?
I mean, he's a spider, so
Is he yes or no?
yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
He does have plus something to
Should be a +3, I believe. Spider.
plus 4.
It's 4.
He's super good.
Yeah. Ooh, so that's going to be 21.
21. Twig trudges his way through, squeezes his way up to the seam in this hidden door, and you see an individual standing, leaning on the bed knob of the bed there, and wrapping their butt with gauze of like a wound directly on like the center of their ass cheek, just like fully there, like, and just wrapping it up. What looks to be a rather lithe, kind of like pluckish like roguish type dwarf. Not doesn't look like anybody of means as far as you can tell from what they're
It
wearing.
doesn't look like anyone that I would have recognized in town.
They don't look familiar to you. Looks the best you can tell, just so I'll give it to you. Best you can tell, this was an individual who paid extra information through an access point to spy and be pervy on other people and paid dearly for it.
This place.
Such a great place. Totally.
At least.
And Pernod was like, none of that shit, not in my fucking room. And she stabbed him.
So what would be in the glory hole, I guess, is my question.
One of the things you do notice, however, actually roll a perception check. It's quick. Yeah, well, you didn't roll a perception check yet. You rolled a stealth check.
But it rolled something before that, too.
No,
That was a survival.
Oh, yeah.
survival.
Figuring out how to get
So
there.
perception is still wisdom, right?
Yes,
Yes.
it is still.
Okay, 14.
14. You notice on the bed the leather armor that is of this individual, what looks like the emblem of granted that could mean everything or that could mean
Well, Twig, come back.
This looks like an individual that probably knows that this place is also called the Whispering, which makes sense. They have that kind of like prohibition. So probably doing something not dissimilar from what he did. Okay, you bring Twig back. You just snap him, and he teleports back.
Share my findings.
Mend the wall.
It's like spy versus spy out in this town kind of right now, especially in this this establishment. But it's like half the people are fucking spies in the city. At least like right now. From what like that's like kind of like at least, but that's what your experience is telling you. That could be very.
I will now morgue into Shakar to see how our buddy Ermgrim is doing.
Hey. Ermgrim is by a iron drum, kind of like an oil drum, that is on fire. Where there's a fire within it. There are two other individuals. The silhouette and the light being cast is very hard to tell what they are, but they look to be anywhere between a dwarf or a half-elf or a human or somewhere like that.
Even with dark vision?
Yeah, so it's like it's not like they appear to be so their race is so muddled with whatever they happen to be that they could be a short human, a gnome, a half-elf that's really short, or a dwarf that has especially pointy ears. Like they're just so racially androgynous when it comes to that thing. It's just very difficult to tell. But that's just one of the individuals. The other individual looks to be a female human dressed in a bunch of rags. They're just warming themselves up. And the other androgynous individual is just stands and looks at Ermgrim. Ermgrim looks back. The individual just puts their whole hand in the food. Ermgrim just stands and watches. And they pull their hand out unharmed. Ermgrim takes his hand and just puts his whole hand in the fire. Moves it unharmed. The androgynous individual nods. Looks to the female human individual who nods and walks way behind and beyond the mountain. Shakar at the moment is just perched on Ermgrim's shoulder, watching all this. Roll an insight check.
With my insight, it's
Yes, because it's your mind, I suppose. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't happen very often. 21.
21. There seems to be some sort of camaraderie or familiarity, almost like this Ermgrim knows this person. You just sense that kind of bond or kinship there, and not like, oh, I see you, this person that follows a certain religion or this profession. It's not like the kinship that Eleazar felt with your other bounty hunter. This feels like a familiarity, like a past familiarity. The other individual then exhales and hangs their head and looks up at them with a gaze, not piercing, but so sullen. It could melt mountains. And you just kind of feel, Shakar just kind of feels the tingle go up Ermgrim's spine of like that. And then You see the androgynous individual look to the side and to the corner, almost like kind of a shameful look. Shake their head. And then lift up what looks like a blade that's, I don't want to say hooked. Think of it like a machete that has, you know what a bardiche is? Or a bardiche? I can't remember exactly what it is. Or like a type of pole arm that has a type of axe on the end of it that comes out, that has 2 points to it, that's very sharp. So it's like a machete that has that. And it's a type of weapon that's meant to slash and then carve. So like to get in and then disembowel. Pulls up a rusty type of short-handed weapon like that. And Shakar notices that Erngrim stops breathing. For 1, 15 seconds before finally exhaling. His eyes still and frozen. And then his brow furrows. And as the other individual comes around the corner, bringing what looks like, holding in their hand what looks like a piece of charcoal with an ember about it, he raises his hand, closes his eyes, shakes his head, and looks and stares daggers at the androgynous individual. And they just put their head down and shake their head again. And then he grabs the barrel, the drum, throws it to the ground, knocks it over, and takes another step to the androgynous individual and stares daggers. And the arms fall to the sides of the androgynous individual. Finally, the head comes up and looks at Grim. Boom. It's the only word you hear them say.
I'm sorry, what?
Vogel.
Vogel.
Erngrim turns on his heels, giving the Shakar a startle as they flutter a bit before they re-land on the shoulder. In purpose and verisimilitude, marches into the darkness of the alleys, away from these individuals.
Warg out at him at that point and convey what I saw, but with not the same amount of charisma.
You cast exposition to us.
Yes, exactly. So that happened. I leave out certain bits where just that I would think would somebody were to overhear it be an issue. I'll just do like a V for Vogel instead of actually saying it.
I did symbol it back, just like.
Log's like 2-2.
2 plus 2 is 4. I get it now.
Nope. Slipping back. No.
Lahg?
Remember?
Factorial.
It's the same there. Right there.
Look at his hands.
2
Look at
and
his
2,
hands.
just. Oh. Magic.
Please.
I need a drink.
Please, I'm constantly in
You should have seen when I got somebody to actually teach him the difference between 5 and 6.
pain. No, I shouldn't have.
It was actually awesome.
I know it.
So happy.
It was really cool. It really was.
It's good.
It was not as much of a headache as when we tried.
You were the one having to learn it.
No, I was the one having to teach it.
So, do we talk about what's supposed to happen tomorrow?
I thought we already did.
No, with 2 Grimmy.
Right.
Because
Grim.
with that situation,
Right.
I think we need somebody with Grim. Because one of us needs to be there in case something happens.
I mean, I'm kinda with him. I would then need to be babysat all day.
Lahg can
you can't be there to help him. All you are his eyes.
I know. But
I
that's
think you still need to send them along.
Do I tell him about that? Because he might do something stupid.
Well, then he's a good fit for us.
He's on his own. He's got to do whatever he thinks is best.
He doesn't know what's going on. He can't do that.
If he knows, he can at least watch out for the person.
Right.
Look,
Right.
let me teach you how to play that instrument improperly.
I mean,
Improperly.
Improperly.
half-elf bounty hunter on your trail.
Mm.
At the end of the day, you're both serving the
Big-
same.
Big thing going down tomorrow. Find us if you can.
Yeah.
If not, meet you back at the inn.
Why
Something
would
like
we,
that.
Why would we go here?
Because we have rooms.
Yeah, but so this person has already been here and knows that he has to.
Mhm.
I wouldn't tell him to come back here.
Where could we meet him at, though? As far as I know, this is the only place that he knows that we will be at.
Do we have an idea of where he went?
He can tell us where to meet.
Right.
Yeah, because he knows.
We can meet even at the wash basin. We could meet at the ice person's place.
Outside of town.
We could meet it,
Right.
or we could have him. Oh gosh, thinking way too much about what this means. With what you're saying,
Is that the flame?
I would assume that that would be someone was extinguished. And if you want to put fuel into that type of fire,
Or
The fact that there's what's on mine is the end of his.
Just had a thought.
yeah, do I send him back home?
What if what Kosuth wants is not
For the Great Circle.
not what the host is asking us to do?
Of course not. Well, Kosuth, I mean, the way we phrase that, right? We just asked how we made sure that they didn't get a candidate they want. And Kosuth's response is basically burn the town to the ground.
chaos.
I mean, they're all.
I mean, true.
I mean, they're bug lovers, so I don't have a problem with that. But thank you. That was the response I was hoping for.
So yeah, maybe tell him just stay safe. Don't come back.
I mean, tell him there's a bounty hunter here after him looking for him and know that he can.
He's going to come to the same conclusion about who sent them as we are. He's going to know he's hunted.
Could somebody
Right.
track the bounty hunter to make sure that he doesn't interact with him? Not you.
But that's not going to start.
No, not me.
Not you.
I mean, but, and I'm just guessing. I mean, tomorrow isn't going to be something that you guys couldn't really handle. You're just going to be trying to help funnel people. So
Mitigate.
it sounds like the more serious threat is the one on Grim. Correct? Is that a false statement, or is that a good assumption?
What's gonna happen to you though if you interfere with another bounty hunter?
And by yourself. I think we've learned that lesson way too much.
Stay safe. Find the shadow of Dumathoi.
Which is what?
We know that they will hide him.
Right. Go back.
We talked about...
He was with us.
Yeah.
Right. So he knows. Remind him of that.
Could be leading them to that organization, though.
Grey Glyphs can help hide you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if the bounty hunter is as good as he is, probably.
Find the embers of the black flame.
Well, what are they trying to accomplish, though,
That
too?
just doesn't
Because
do more.
they're sending a bounty hunter after him. They're not sending the blind bitches after him.
Yet.
The more they can be inconspicuous, the better. Yes. So that makes sense why they sent him.
But that also begs the question of what they're trying to do with him.
Yeah, but who, the fact that they didn't send those killers means that they're trying to do this secretly.
Mm-hmm.
Or that they want him alive.
Or we've already taken out so many of them, they're not going to risk anymore.
No, I think it's more somebody
He killed
screwed
us
up
in like one once.
and they want to try and fix something without everyone else finding out that they screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And who said, yeah,
So-
well, yeah, we don't know.
Do this with a little bit of coin in the shadow and nobody knows.
You know,
So-
you know whose face I went to immediately? I looked to Noel, he's like,
So
I looked straight up to Noel. He's just like,
the longer he stays
like,
free, safe,
I saw him do this. That's
the better it is
It was
for
just a
all
little
of
coin in the
us.
shadows.
Stay safe.
And I think the ones best able to handle that are the ones that have been doing it under their noses for the most part.
Should we
That's what
send?
they're good at.
If we're sending a message to Grim for that, to do that, should we send a message to
But that takes
Grey
away,
Gloves about that then?
that takes away our options as to who to promote if he's not coming back.
Well,
We know.
Or if we
know who
hide
not
him.
to.
Yeah.
What- That I feel is pretty obvious.
Kind of seems obvious at this point, yes. We don't, I mean, plans within plans, who knows?
Yeah, but
90% certain?
I
I think we promote ourselves.
90% certain
I
at
think
this
we promote
point?
ourselves.
they're not trying to do it under the like.
we've got a dwarf and a gnome who killed a purple worm. We might be able to get away with that.
I don't want to stay anywhere for very long.
They're already asking me.
What if we fudge the name of the gnome that did that?
What?
But what?
What if
Still
we
be stuck
put-
here.
What about your brother?
That's where I was going. What if we put your brother up?
Ah.
You're gonna trust gloves?
Seems like a responsibility.
Nobody in this town will accept him
What was his
as
accent?
their
I can't
leader.
remember.
Bad.
He was very timid.
Yeah. Nobody in this town is going to accept him as their leader.
What if he rides in on a worm?
Far away in a corner. Jack cries. A tear, and he doesn't know why.
I love him.
He's not a leader.
Don't get me wrong. He's not your guy.
Well, they want a leader here. What if we put somebody who's not a leader in charge?
That just makes problems down the road. That kicks the can down the road. Problems come right back.
That's like 50 years down the road. That's not a big deal.
No, it's not.
For you, as a human.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I'm coming at this from human perspective.
Even
10
then,
years is a drop in the bucket.
somebody's going to figure out that he's not
That's my
the
childhood.
person to be in charge way sooner than 50 years.
Well, then you could be the shadow government behind him.
But then I would have to be here, and I don't want to be here for the rest of my life.
You could just do the sending thing.
Well, you could have let him die.
Town is honestly kind of weird. I don't want to stay here.
Wait. You travel with a shape-shifting bugbear. Me with my weird eyes. The dude who likes flame. the dude who breathes ice,
None
the
of which
dog
you
woman,
spy on
and
me while I'm
yet
sleeping.
that is weird.
Trisha's over there like, I'm not the dog.
But I'm not a dog.
None of which you spy on me in weird situations.
That you know of.
Cole's just gonna give you a look like, what are you doing? We're not paying attention.
I'm just saying, we spied on Lahg in a lot of interesting positions.
Regardless,
Lahg is our seduction artist.
this town is not my home. Town is not somewhere where I want to make my home. I don't want to put any of us in a situation where we have to stay here.
At the same time, if we put your brother in charge, the other moon people.
How the heck are you gonna get him in charge?
So I do have to just a point of order. This makes actually quite a lot of sense for your character. Both you, Zemdek, and you, Argus, your like survival instincts, being this close to the reaching breach, are like bing 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 are going off like wildfire. Like this is a dangerous place to be.
This is not someplace you want to stay.
Granted,
What if we
very odd how it has
install Hinjak as the
things have to
leader
spawn from it.
Well,
with Grimmy as the shadow
we're doing a
leader?
lot of this.
I don't think it'll work. I don't think it's a good plan.
I mean, Grimmy's pretty strong,
Okay.
as long as he doesn't get taken again.
But Penny isn't.
Penny and Penny. They get married, have a kid together.
We installed Bilgrar.
Gloves.
Bill Grover.
That's perfect.
Oh God, we'll
You
come back
guys-
to Steel Crag being a
You guys
fucking-
were-
Broken Stone.
You guys were listening. Which group was the one that was backed by the smaller clans?
They were backing together, but it was, I know I said this wrong to you earlier, but it was, Mortanic.
Mortanic.
Thank you. My handwriting,
It's okay.
I married the last part of the N with the I on accident, so.
I think the group that protects the most, or that has the most under their umbrella.
I just wish we knew who the Conclave is start trying to put in power.
Oh,
V.
That's right. Yeah.
there's way too many.
Hey, you told me that when I was drunk. I'm not surprised I only remember it when you call it out to me.
There's so many signs.
Also, shh.
I can yell louder if you want. Ah! Fuck you!
Fuck your mother.
Fuck your father.
You're saying things out loud that should not be said out loud.
I don't know how to respond to that.
They just don't. Right.
Don't tell me what to do.
If we help, that means that we can make connections and we can help the people that we want to help.
Just not sure the people we want to help are the best people.
Puts more power behind them.
You know who the best person to help is?
Myself, but I gotta think of all the rest of you.
I'm sorry. You said, no, there it is. And I saw Kaden's face. Being like, there is the look. It was very like Curb Your Enthusiasm. This fucking bitch.
I think most of us have
Oh man.
That's why I said myself, but I have to think of the rest of you too.
I mean, I don't know how we could pull it off, but
That's why I don't bug Lahg to pull out the fetish all the time.
Grim
Anymore.
keeping
I'm not
the
done.
status quo would be the best option.
No, what I'm saying is we let one of the big three take control, but one that we have helped.
What about the fourth?
Yeah, there's 4.
Actually,
We
for somebody we
bring the fourth
helped,
in behind one of the three.
what if we were to bring in?
If they're
Hawker
open
in
to
here?
working with smaller clans, we bring
Well,
the others in behind them.
here's another
Add more
idea.
power to them.
What if we bring Naslin in? He's talking. He's definitely a big 3.
It's not.
He's also still back in Minheim.
Actually, he's off somewhere. We don't know where he's at. He got kicked out. Remember?
He's not political enough.
No, again, Grimmy, shadow government. We can make it work.
Okay.
Here in town, there are 3.
You guys are building your own
Four.
Well, one's lost.
Cole's pushing for
Yeah.
that.
But
There's
As a bard,
of
I'm sure Cole has read stories like that. Or histories like that.
I love the idea that Cole is a closet conspiracy.
The vote already happened. The vote already happened, right?
The vote of no confidence? Technically, no.
Oh,
Technically, no. So the vote of no confidence.
That's what all this
So
politicizing
the
is
vote
about.
of no confidence is actually not a. Actually, roll a history check for me. How many
Everybody?
Cole, Argus, Zemdak, and Trishek, the studious individuals, or those that are familiar with the culture.
Cole knows nothing.
24.
24.
16.
Nat 20 for 28.
Cole knows nothing because I got a 3.
Yeah, you think it's an actual vote.
Yeah. Come on. They vote him out. We can bring somebody else in and they'll just vote him
Argus,
in.
what did you get?
16.
16. Vote of no confidence is a motion. It's a motion. It doesn't mean something that has to be passed. It's a motion that is brought forth. It is an idea for contention that then spreads discord and dissent among others, clans that would be in power. What that means, you're not politically apt enough to really know. 24. Vote of no confidence is not something that needs to be confirmed. It's not a vote of no confidence is something. Someone has brought a grievance upon the Stoneworm clan that they are not, that whoever is leader of
They don't believe in
the Spirit clan is not worthy and not a stable enough, or among a bunch of different reasons, not valid enough to maintain the office. The individual is not valid enough to maintain the office. And as the individual who is the best representative of said clan to maintain the office, therefore speaks unofficially, not entirely legally, unofficially the invalidity of having that entire clan represented leadership for the office. It is more of a PR social nightmare that could lead to actual legal action, which in this culture and the way the clans work here is more important than actual law.
It's kind of like what's going on in the UK right
Stoneworm
now.
is still in charge, but somebody said we don't have to listen.
They are on really thin ice.
Somebody said we don't have to listen to you anymore.
It's basically everybody that supported Stoneworm came through and said, we don't support you anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty much saying somebody rallied support to say you shouldn't be in charge anymore, and a bunch of people backed it up, which brought the fact that mob rule has said we need to put somebody else into charge.
It's very
Unless
much...
that public opinion changes, there very well could be a new leader forcibly put into power.
You're right, it could change.
It's not the same reasons
Exactly.
for why, but it's exactly what's going on in the UK right now.
So we
Kind
need
of
to make
idea.
sure.
I wish I knew more about it, but probably. So
Wouldn't our best bet be to make sure
hold on.
the
Let me do the
worms stay in
28.
power?
28.
28 with a nat
Oh,
20.
shit.
28 with an at 20. Not only do you understand this, but you understand the other side of it. Growing up in the Maresian, in the coalition of the Golden Dawn, well, at least for the part of it, you understand just how powerful belief is. So much so that an idea is bulletproof, an idea is impenetrable, an idea is invulnerable. If the idea that Stoneworm is not capable of holding the leadership is floated, and nothing short of a miracle could prevent it. Especially not at this point where people are already vying for control and like picking up the scraps and looking to fight to grab power as fast as they can in this. So the power vacuum hasn't even happened yet. Technically, Stoneworm is still in power. Technically, what that actually, but if that actually means anything, it could mean nothing because
because
without public opinion actually recognizing that, it doesn't mean it.
Right, because whoever holds power is actually the one that is recognizes holding power, and so it's all
Right, and
all
the
the mind.
recognition of said power is entirely up to the clans of that thing. Now, you also understand, as you've heard about the trials and do the oration and the canvassing and the clan friction and everything. There are old traditions involved that are reserved for such an endeavor, for if such a situation were to happen, which do include several trials and other types of things. Now, because it is so ingrained in tradition, whichever clan ends up showing the most wherewithal and fortitude and success within these trials are going to get the better part of public opinion and therefore end up being the more valid choice for the next choice of
TM,
one.
after you're done.
I'm almost done.
Yeah.
But for the valid choice for said leadership. However, you, as a person that is studious and understand and upholds logic up over most other things, so much so that you use logic to deceive the universe to disobey its own laws.
It's just good lawyering. That's all.
Yeah. This,
You debate very well.
if held up to official documents, in no way would have official power. In no way. Meaning that technically not even the Stoneworm clan has a legal claim to power. Not a single one. Nobody does. Meaning that it is entirely up. The problem with that lies in is that it's such an open-ended of a question that there's no answer. Now, having said that, you also understand that there are specific individuals that have to meet a certain criteria in order for them to be accepted as leadership. Now, the ones that you've understood that Ermgrim has told you are old tradition. Defeating a purple worm, being able to tame purple worm, that whole thing. That's a big one from old, ancient, archaic tradition that has since been either forgotten about or no longer enforced. The way you understand that is, there are a couple ways you could go about this. You could try to research archaic tradition. You could try to invoke a more legal bias as to how the individual should be elected, if there's it's not the proper term, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Or you could just straight up try to sway public opinion. This is such a frontier city, even though it is a well-established city and it is well organized and it is a great first line of defense against the breach. It is full-on cowboy diplomacy here. So whoever can convince the masses to follow a certain course of action when it comes to logic and emotion is going to win. Question. Go ahead.
What time is it currently?
It is late evening. If you guys want to wake up early enough to get stuff done tomorrow before who knows what's going to happen, you should bed down.
No, and that's why I asked, because all right, it's getting late. Right now, we have a plan to stop the main problem tomorrow.
I had a new thought.
But if we don't want to sleep through the riot, we need to get some sleep soon.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just go add one more thing here.
Huh?
So basically, to summarize, you are in
Still want us to debate through the night.
the Wild West.
We can choose to do.
You're in the Wild West. The law only holds as much power as it has to enforce it. And seeing as right now,
There's no central.
as Nua has stated, there's nobody to actually enforce it other than the people that feel a certain way. Law here doesn't really have rules.
The law is the
That's
force
why
of
this
those.
is all being set up by both.
Yep.
Person.
Kind of reminds me of old medieval Europe when the Pope would die and they would kind of try and just figure out the power in the
That's-
Catholic Church.
That's quite a good example because
Sentient-
it has to do with just thought. And
Yeah, exactly.
Sentient nature hates change. On a mob setting, nobody wants change.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can.
We
yeah.
want stability.
Yes, yes, that's another thing that I'm going to say. You have witnessed firsthand that the ruling power of thought and like cognition in this city is starting to devolve into mob.
Last
Ever
thing,
so
What
bad.
if we made the three seem more like squabbling children? What if we helped the old guard maintain their position by making the other three look bad?
But
Oh, okay, so you're asking,
Like
what
the
you're
Argent.
stating is that you want to make Stoneworm look good to make the other three look bad.
Correct.
yeah.
Okay, because that's what I was just about to bring up, so I just wanted to make sure that's where you were
I
going.
was trying not to say it out loud because there are people listening.
No, this is- that's why I didn't use Cole's voice. I was asking you player to player.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's, makes
Cole does not sound like me.
Be that up.
No, he sounds like someone entirely
What is the
anachronistic
one way you're
of
going to
the
make it
area
look like you have the
you're
power
Yeah.
to put down something?
It's very
It is
anachronistic
that.
of the area you originally told me
Yes.
of before you started creating accents for it.
Which is why I'm saying, what
Well,
if
I gave you like a Russo thing. But it's
what if we maintain status quo?
That's what I was saying, but how?
What if we
still confidence everybody to
Talk
warn.
to them, see if they can bring forces to bear tomorrow
Problem is,
to quell
archaic
problems,
rule? Question: would I know that it's
turn the
archaic?
oration around that the other three are nothing more than
Would I know how
squabbling
archaic
children?
rule would be
Giving
viewed
willingly
by
at
people?
one person at a time.
they've, based off of how I interpreted my divination, it sounds like the head of the Stoneworm clan is so grieved from losing his wife and his child.
But the status quo isn't the head of the Stoneworm clan; it's the Stoneworm clan.
Your question, your history question.
Yes. How much would I know about how people would require it, just in general, how people would view archaic law versus the contemporary law?
Very good question. Go ahead and roll a history check.
Dwarven culture question.
Let me get this first.
18.
18. Okay. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. That, again, all depends on how well it is presented to people here. There are some people that are going to grab on really hard to old tradition. But again, it's like, guys, you're getting the sense where unless you're good at convincing a mass amount of people to go a certain way, it could go anywhere. Like it is a charisma game
The
going on here,
old archaic laws,
which makes a lot of sense why Vogel has hired orators to do such.
what if we help Stoneworm fulfill some of the archaic laws? Because the archaic laws are very showy. They are very presentation forward. They are very much, this is what we can do.
That's a very good point. They also have a lot of years of history behind them.
They
It's
do.
also
They're
the one
ingrained
clan
deeper in the stone.
guaranteed is not backed by the gauntlet.
Exactly.
In your question.
Culture question.
Yes.
Period of
Guaranteed.
mourning.
You're talking about grace period.
Yes.
Comes to rulers.
Correct.
Very, very good question. Roll a history check for me. Very.
I like this. We're
17.
coming up with great questions.
Did you say 23?
17.
17. 17. Okay.
Yeah, dirty 20.
As many
If I could.
other things within this specific warrior culture here, there are no specific like hard line times you get a week to grieve until you have to resume your duties. It's pretty much You are this person. If I feel like you're grieving too much and you're not doing your duties, I don't have confidence in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all very ambiguous.
Outside of this specific town, though, is there a cultural dwarven
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, in Thulmore Bed specifically, there's a whole month dedicated to the death of a member of the high government or a hero, in which like a period of mourning or grieving is put to the point where even those who have been convicted of crimes in previous times, like in times beforehand, are given the opportunity to show their remorse by doing like certain activities in order to gain their own freedom. It is a time of forgiveness and grievance. Here, due to the nature of where they are, there's no time to grieve because the threat is always present. And so the strongest, most capable rule. Granted, this is like becoming a little bit more ambiguous and slightly changing a little bit in more contemporary history because it's been a little bit since threats have come up from the Reaching Breach, which is odd. And so it's causing culture shock and things to change and people feel uncomfortable with change. And so like the whole city itself is a little off kilter, not sure what to do. So, and which makes them all extremely vulnerable to influence.
We have Grimmy stay below to help us find a purple worm to bring back up.
I think, based off of what you've said, he is in a stage of attack mode and not diplomatic mode.
Another thought. It's all coming back down to belief. How good's your oration skills? Do you want to go up for a debate?
Not against him.
You're going against yourself, are you not? But the
You against the crowd.
Yeah, Cole, you feel the pressure right now. You realize that player-wise, a bad persuasion roll could mean a massive shift in the public thought. And Cole realizes
That's a lot.
a bad speech or a good speech
The wrong word.
could
And I kind of have to be standing next to him to create that illusion. If I am standing on the stage with him, with that illusion, it's going to be hard for me to make the illusion say the things that
You have to debate me. We go to the original plan.
There you go.
I replace him. And I debate you as him, and you debate me as you.
Can you
And-
Bob,
change
can I
your voice?
write your speech?
And I will
No,
help.
no, we want my speech to be shit.
That's
Right,
why I'm
that's
going
why
to
he's
write
saying,
your
can you write
speech.
And I can help.
Lahg, I love you, but occasionally golden nuggets drop from your mouth, and I don't need that when I'm debating you.
I can help you write yours as far as a logical, lawyerish kind of way.
And if you're within 10 feet from me, you get plus 2 in your
Still
saving throw
supposed to
rolls.
be a riot tomorrow.
Yes.
We can't turn it into a speech.
No. My thought is
My thought is to make it through tomorrow, and then we can fix everything after that.
we need Stoneworm to help put it down.
That's fair. That's fair. And then you come together as the. Sorry.
If we
Go
have
ahead.
Stoneworm arm there,
You have yet to
See
witness, meet a single member of the Stoneworm.
we can get them to look and act like they're putting down a potential threat before it starts. That could show a strength of power.
So we need to do.
We need Stoneworm uniforms.
Here's the thing, do we ignore the bard and go talk to Stoneworm, or do we try and protect the bard but let the riot happen?
Why can't we do both? Why can't we?
From a public relations standpoint, we need it to look like these three clans are squabbling children.
I think including Vogel.
Yes.
Yeah.
All three of these
Vogel,
clans to
Mart-
look like squabbling children. We need Stoneworm
I can-
to come in and discipline them.
Is anybody else good at talking to people?
Says the bard.
Well, I can only be in one place at a time, so I can't make the same speech in 2 different places to 2 different people and necessarily
And
make it
liaison
work.
with that cocoa butter today. You've been talking very, very well today.
You got people skills.
Yeah,
But it's gonna be gone after this.
but it's
Well, yeah, because I did have but my
Your
still
people
have-
skills
no
don't just go
charisma.
away.
yeah.
His
Your
charisma
general-
score is still better than
plus 7.
No.
But
Your,
I
yeah,
don't
your
have proficient
charisma's
in,
your just
it's a
base
plus
charisma.
7, right?
Well, that's your
Proficient in
saving throw.
deception.
He's
It's a
he's
push.
trained in persuasion.
Isn't
Because as a bard, you get.
So yeah, so my persuasion is
if you're pretending to be someone that you're not,
Yeah, but that's good for that scenario. But
Love,
for
I
talking,
love you, but people love to run in fear from you, so I don't know if you're gonna be the best one to persuade people.
I think
But I won't look like this. I'll look like the other guy.
instead of dealing with the other bar,
Yeah, but you'll still sound like
we
Lahg.
need to go talk to the stoneworms in the morning.
I've got bronchitis.
We need
I
to
ain't
figure
got no
out
time for that.
what we can do to help them regain stability.
I think potentially using Grimmy to
If we
create
help
that-
them smooth things out, that gives us leverage to then
Remember how the
Help
smaller,
our
lesser
friends.
clans feel.
yes.
Scared.
yeah, they don't want to lose what the status quo
They
is.
don't know. They don't want to lose it. Also, I mean, like no matter what happens, they lose. If somebody gets into other power, they get absorbed and they lose. If they run away, they lose their homes and they lose everything.
However,
if they stay here and things don't change and things continue to go the way they are going, nobody has a rallying force to protect them from the reaching breach. And
Whereas
they lose.
if we can balance things back out,
Right.
regain the status quo, they're just
I think we need to go to bed
We need to tell Ermgrim.
and get up in the morning and talk about this. We want to let Ermgrim know now
Yes.
or in the morning when we figured something out.
No.
Because as of right now, we're telling him nothing.
We're
can-
telling him a bounty hunter's after his ass.
there are safety concerns
Yeah.
that we need to let him know about.
Yeah.
We're not telling him nothing.
He knows a bounty hunter's after his ass. He knows where he escaped from.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know there's a specific
what-
bounty hunter.
No, he just knows where we broke him out of.
But what they look like.
That's
Okay.
to watch out for.
Thank you, Trisheni. You have a good point.
refuses to get
I'm interested.
Well, his thing was, there's a bounty hunter after him. Yeah, he knows there are people after him. We broke him out of fucking prison.
Still prep the good
Not
word.
necessarily, because the people that logically would be after him would just be killing him.
They'd be fucking here if they wanted to be.
They
Well,
would be here, and
only
he would have
if-
a side.
Again,
from his-
only if they wanted him
chest.
dead. Again, plans within plans.
Also, don't forget what happened with Shade. Shade was like, I've had enough. I want to pretend none of this ever happened.
Right.
I want to wash my hands of you.
So that's what I was saying earlier. I think the organization doesn't know, but somebody knows, and they're trying to fix that problem before it becomes known, and they get in trouble.
Almost like the
Well,
conclave
it's almost
is
like
always
the-
of one mind.
Right?
No,
They're
not even
individual.
Well, it's almost like somebody that we know
No,
who let him get away might be trying to clean shit up.
I'm thinking whoever captured him in the first place, whoever had him there,
Right.
whoever's plan it was to take him
There's
off the board
also
knows.
Actually, I'm more
a
leaning
monotone
towards-
voice that does want him.
Yes.
Right. But I think we need to sleep unless we're sending a message.
I'm sending a message to Ermgrim.
Sending a
Over that.
message.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go ahead and set up your dome.
What is your 25?
My dome will break this.
I'm not
place.
writing it down this time. This is the first time.
Okay.
Here we go.
DM, is the ceiling taller than 10 feet?
It's about like a 11 foot.
Cool. Okay, I can do that then.
Because you have the suite.
Fancy pants.
It was just more worried about
Thanks, Doug.
casting the dome and breaking the floor.
Unless we're not doing that.
You wouldn't break the floor, you just wouldn't be able to cast it. Because it has to be within a spot that I can contain.
Exactly.
Unless we don't want to use that.
I mean, stuff can get the sound gets through here, so it's not like it's the quiet thing.
Point of order, just so you know, there is no bottom to the dome.
Right.
So people can absolutely hear the other shoe drop. You're protected from everything except for anything that's under you.
You'd have to know that and get through there in time, though.
I'm just you are aware of this just because you know this. So
I'm trying to cast sending here. She's trying to count for me
Because he's
because I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just the visual to his. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Sitting there waiting.
There's a half elf
Half elf is one word.
Yes, it is. I got it.
bounty hunter after you with feathered hat, knows you can be illusion.
I'm not counting that.
Planned riot tomorrow by V.
You can say Vogel as one word.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I can, but I have to say this out loud.
Oh, yeah. We have 8 more words.
Wish you could cast ending.
He got 3 more. He got 3 more.
Shade. Kossuth, peace with you.
He got 3 more.
Kossuth, peace
Oh
with you.
goodness.
The burn.
God.
Flaming drum is nice.
Nice.
Flaming drum.
Nice. Actually, it's more. Flaming drum is.
Hence it is. I said nice.
Flaming
Okay.
drum?
Drum's nice.
Oh, it's an apostrophe. Okay. Conjunction possessive. Got it. So, you guys then, I assume, go to bed.
I cast good berry multiple times. Everybody has 6 good berries in their pocket. I have
don't
10.
think that works that.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. you
As
can-
many spell
Can you
slots
make
as
that-
she burns, she can cast 10
But
good
they all only last 24.
Correct.
Yes.
But this is just for reviving people tomorrow if they
In
get.
case we get caught in the riot, yeah.
Damn, you guys are smart. I love having smart players.
It's still going to go wrong. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did he respond?
Right. And that.
It's also the whole thing of we're also very smart until things start happening.
Lahg, can you do me a favor and roll your stuff for rest?
Well, so I was after the response, I was going to ask if he's got one more sending in him.
I do.
Okay, so we'll wait.
I also have my spells, which I will cast on you before you sleep.
Okay. Argent says,
Get it back here. Yeah, cool.
it's bigger fish to fry. It's the help of my way.
Sisters are part of the conflict.
You're not blue anything about his sister.
Oh, I know.
That's it.
Alright.
I mean, it's exactly what I would expect based off of what we get.
Okay,
And what we saw Shikard.
do you guys want to do
From
something?
Shikard.
So yeah, so I just sent you a message from my mother.
And then I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you Intellect Fortress before we pass out.
Starting to think vultures is more literal or V specifically.
Prove it.
Waffles.
Oh,
Waffles is a cat. Thank you very much.
Uno momento.
Wow.
I'm going to have to change your thing around. Okay. Alright, I'll cast sending with his mom. Or to his mom.
To your mom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, yeah.
From Lahg. Still alive. You? Ever?
Still alive? Okay.
Still alive.
Okay.
Pause.
You? Okay, got it.
You? Questioning?
Like I said, figured this out.
He put the coin punctuation correct this time, so I didn't actually say it.
I thought you said still alive. You?
No. Still alive. You? Where before I was like, still alive, you?
All alive.
Ever heard of Dreamweavers? Or the mongrel front lead? 8 fetish. Might be dangerous. Dreaming
Eight
weird.
fetish. That could be a lot of things.
dreaming weird and real shit now.
Well, did your mom know about your fetish before she disappeared?
Okay.
That's the real
Okay.
Well, I took away a fetish because I needed another word.
Are you alive? Do you know about Dreamweavers
Or
or
the
the fish?
Mongrel
Or Mongrel?
I ate it.
That was a lot of questions to try and get a response back.
In the 25 word limit.
Yeah, we don't need full explanations, but just if she knows those
I'm
things.
so sorry. This burden is not for you to bear. Beautifully. You should.
Don't come loose.
And I will repeat all that back to you.
If he knows what Dreamweavers are, so.
Oh, and the mongrel fled.
Yeah, because she said if the mongrel told you to flee, flee.
Right. So she knew about she knows about all of that.
Are you guys ready for chaos? 'Cause I'm ready for chaos.
Alright, what spells do I need to prepare for your
Okay, you
chaos?
guys go to sleep.
I'll roll my shit.
Roll your shit.
You have advantage on your wisdom saving throw.
Man, I was gonna do that though.
I got that spell specifically for Lahg.
So I was gonna randomly put the guardian face outside and go.
I had lots. I keep
Your dreams are full of
so Lahg would stop setting shit on fire.
confusion as to what does this mean? Your message from your mother. Why would she tell you to run away? Why would she know what you are and never tell you? But why wouldn't she be honest to you? Why would she lie to you? Why would she let you believe all these things for so many years, especially after what has happened to you? Why do that to you, her son, the one that she protected above all else? Why would she do that? When you feel a brush of bristle purr up against your side in this dream realm, it's Moonchild or some representation of Moonchild glowing and brimming 3 times the size with horned antlers and elongated nose among you, pulls your arm up and pulls you out of your stupor of internal thought. And just nods at you. And you just sense this feeling of camaraderie, mutual love and understanding. Something sent to you to make sure you would be able to be you. Your eyes open, but you don't find yourself within the same spot as you were when you go to sleep. You find yourself on this verdant turquoise grass, tall, 3 feet tall, being swaying in the wind of a rolling hillside. And off in the distance, the redness of the rubicund cloud rolled home, almost like a Dakota velvet hat. Season end. It was lush, green. The Moonchild looks at you with these large antlers and this large, almost dire wolf-like, straight into you. Eyebrows pushed down. Feel this piercing truth. You don't see them speak, you don't hear them speak, you just understand the thought that they're trying to convey to you. Truth is not without. Truth is within. You wake up, and you have advantage on insight checks for the next 2 hours.
At some point during the night, I put raccoon eyes on Cole.
Oh my god. And that's where we're going to end this episode, guys. Is Zemdak puts raccoon eyes on Cole.
With prestidigitation.
Yes. We'll be back in a couple minutes. If not, if you're watching this episode, head over to the next episode. And as always, thank you very much. Like and subscribe, and stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.